Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in a life and a crazy life that is digital asset space. Sam Bankman-Fried's been arrested. That's the word on the street. Reported to you. We first reported to you last night. Interesting hearing with the new CEO of FTX. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff there. But I think the more interesting stuff is what's coming out of the office of the SEC. Tom Emmer is on Gary Gensler at the SEC. A couple of members of Congress brought up the SEC. They still kind of gave them a pass, from that committee hearing. So, yeah, I'll cover that in another video. But what's coming from Tom Emmer and the SEC suit, not suit, but, bringing him up on charges is some interesting stuff, to say the least. We're going to cover that. Listen, the market is doing what the market does. We'll go over that, of course. Listen, guys, this is your XRP Ripple daily news. In around 0 to 10 minutes, let's refresh the total cryptocurrency market cap according to CoinGecko. Love CoinGecko. Love CoinGecko. I'm telling you guys, you go CoinGecko.com, download that app. So listen, the total cryptocurrency market cap is 907 billion. It's up 3.2% on 24 hour, interestingly. But however, from an all-time high of 3 trillion down to 907 billion, we are definitely in a bear market for sure. It's been that way for a minute. Now, the Bitcoin dominance is at 37.7%. We all know that that is not a great number. Bitcoin is trading at $17,748. Interestingly enough, Ethereum is trading at $1,320. Both of those are up on the 7-day, over 4.5%. Interesting. And XRP is trading at 39 cents. Interesting stuff. Nothing really to cover on the 7 days in terms of double figure greens. I'm not gonna mention that token. I have no idea what that digital asset is. Bitcoin to Satoshi Fish is up 13.6% on the 7-day. I really want to get into a couple of things coming from Sam Bankman-Fried's written testimony. This is what he supposedly was going to say. I find the arrest and the timing of his arrest, so that he is not allowed to testify before Congress, to be disturbing, to say the least. So this is the full testimony that Sam Bankman-Fried planned to give to Congress today. This is from Simon Dixon, put this out. Testimony, page 1, FTX.US, House of Representatives, Committee on Financial Services. I would like to start by formally stating under oath, I screwed up. He didn't use the word screwed up. I know, the other word he used. I know that it doesn't mean much to say that I'm sorry, and so I'm dedicating as much as myself as I can to doing right by customers. When all is said and done, I'll judge myself primarily by one metric, whether I have eventually been able to make customers whole. If I fail our customers in this regard, I have failed myself. Last year, my net worth was $1 billion, 20 billion, cool. Today, I would be wrong to say that I have nothing. Today, I will be wrong to say if I have nothing. I have a loving family and food on my plate, and that's more than life has given billions of people. But last I saw, I believe my bank account had $100,000 in it. I don't know for sure because I've been denied access to many of my own personal passwords, data documents, and accounts, which is all BS. In terms of the amount of money that he's had, he put a bunch of his stuff in real estate because he knows it's going to be hard to get that in different names. Him and his family and mom and pop bought a bunch of real estate with creditors' money in the Bahamas. That's the fact. As of today, and I and many other members of XTS International Forward Management Team are missing access to key data that can help inform customers, inform Chapter 11 teams, decisions, and inform foreign regulators looking after FTX International. Nearly all of this data is held by Chapter 11 team, blaming it on the fact that he doesn't have access, that he can't be transparent in his testimony. In fact, many of us are still missing access to our own personal data, which is being held hostage by Chapter 11's team leadership. This dude is something. When we have asked for access to our own personal data and passwords, an example response reads, you should take steps, as we have suggested to others in the same position, to reset passwords to any relevant personal accounts. As such, much of my testimony is less confident and detailed than I want it to be. And I apologize if I am unable to confidently answer completely reasonable questions. I unfortunately cannot access most of FTX current or historical data. I deeply regret Mr. Ray's team. Let me put it this way. Mr. Ray, the new CEO's team, has even refused to return to me my credentials to purely personal accounts. I deeply regret giving interpretation to sign forms that participated or precipitated the Chapter 11 filing just a few days after FTX International being potentially insolvent, among other things. Blaming other people, giving excuses. This dude is very, very good at BSing. It's interesting to hear Chairman Waters really kind of go in on Sam Bankman-Fried. Very, very interesting. But I think, you know, when you get the staffers, they all come together and like, we got no choice. We have to turn our backs on this dude. That's what it feels like to me. Charles Gasparino put this out. I think it's really interesting. Really interesting. Excuse me. Gary Gensler met with Sam Bankman-Fried twice over the past year or so. I can't recall another time when an SEC chair met privately with a target of a major fraud in the months leading up to charges being filed and the target's arrest. Incoming GOP majority will be asking questions. Tom Emmer put this out. So Gary Gensler knows that FTX was fraudulent from its inception. This is egregious considering he had more meetings with Bankman-Fried than anyone in the space to discuss a crypto regulatory framework designed to benefit FTX alone. He, Gary Gensler, will be held accountable. And he's referencing this SEC's suit, right? So, I mean, suit. They brought this complaint and they filed it in the United States District Court of Southern District of New York. Securities and Exchange Commission versus Sam Bankman-Fried. Jury trial demanded. Of course, they want a jury trial because then he can go up there and, you know, pretend like he's innocent and he has been harmed. Here is it right here. Plaintiff Securities Exchange for his complaint against Sam Bankman-Fried. From at least May 2019 through November 2020, Bankman-Fried engaged in a scheme to defraud equity investors in FTX Trading Limited, the crypto asset trading platform of which he was CEO and co-founder. At the same time, he was also defrauding the platform's customers. Bankman-Fried raised more than $1.8 billion from investors, including U.S. investors, who bought an equity stake in FTX, believing that FTX had appropriate controls and risk management measures. Unbeknownst to those investors and to FTX trading customers, Bankman-Fried was orchestrating a massive years-long fraud, diverting billions of dollars of the trading platform's customer funds for his own personal benefit and to help grow his crypto empire. The question we should ask ourselves, and then I'm going to go here to statement 31 that Tom Emmer, Representative Tom Emmer, is noting. Right here says, from the inception, this is from the Securities and Exchange Commission, from the inception of FTX, Bankman-Fried diverted FTX customers' funds to Alameda, and he continued to do so until FTX collapsed in November of 2022. This is why Patrick McHenry and Senator Toomey asked before Congress, where was the SEC in the Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, and now FTX? Where was the SEC? It's factual, according to his calendar, Gary Gensler's calendar, that he was meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried at least twice. Where was the SEC? I find it very, very interesting, the timing of this SEC bringing this suit before the judge, and the fact that he was arrested before he could give testimony under oath. Crypto law seems to agree with the crypto siege. How did the cop on the beat, how did the quote unquote cop on the beat let a multi-billion-dollar fraud, now this is fraud charges, a multi-billion-dollar fraud unfold right underneath his nose, Gary Gensler's nose, while suing Ripple for 2 years and destroying library. Who was protected? Crypto Law goes on to tweet out, Gary Gensler's dysfunctional leadership is a very big part of the FTX story. And I couldn't agree with the people, with John Deaton and the people from Crypto Law even more. It is on Gary Gensler. Stefan Huber had a very, very interesting thing to point out here, and I think it's important to note. This is the suit filed in Southern District of New York by the SEC. The best thing is that the SEC doesn't charge Sam Bankman-Fried for selling unregistered securities. The word unregistered appears 0 times. They also don't call FTT an unregistered security like they call XRP, but simply token. In the suit that they brought, they called the XRP an unregistered security. In the suit that they bring against Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTT token, they call the FTT token, but simply FTT is sufficiently decentralized just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. They also don't call FTT an unregistered security. Let me say it again, like XRP, but simply token. That's what they call it, just token. FTT is sufficiently decentralized, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Here, consider this is the thing here. The SEC considers the FTT token, continues Stefan Huber in his tweet, the native crypto asset token of FTX. That's what they're calling it in the suit. Remember, this is part of the suit here. And he highlighted it. The native crypto asset token of FTX. That's what they call FTT in the suit against Ripple. But the same attorney calls XRP an unregistered digital asset security. How is that possible? Interesting stuff. Today, we charge the FTX Trading Limited CEO and co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried with orchestrating a scheme to defraud equity investors. Investigations as to other securities laws violations and into other entities and persons relating to the alleged misconduct are ongoing. We'll see if they amend this suit to include trading unregistered securities like they did with XRP from the onset. Interesting stuff, Stefan Huber. Thank you so much for sharing it. Guys, interesting time, again, to be an early adopter of digital asset space and this new asset class called the digital asset space. Very, very interesting times. We're going to keep up to date on that. Next video I'm going to do will be about the hearing. Chairman Maxine Waters, had a very, very interesting opening comment. Patrick McHenry was all over the fact and sharing that this has nothing to do with the digital asset space. This has to do with a fraudster that is Sam Bankman-Fried. So listen, guys, this wraps up your XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor, hit that like button so that we can break that YouTube algorithm and the shadow ban that is currently going on with this channel, because we speak the truth. If you enjoyed the hangout, please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell. But above and beyond all else, please smash that like button. And if you enjoy the hangout, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this video like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we were made a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.